your brain is under attack.
High levels of stress overall will start to first damage and then kill some neurons in your brain. That is not good.
Every notification, every scroll, every little ping is destroying something precious. Your ability to focus.
We are always being stimulated, and as a result, it is killing our ability to focus.
But what if there was a way, a simple way, to fight back? Now, what I'm about to show you is not a trick. Researchers have discovered a way to rebuild your focus, sharpen your attention, and literally grow your brain in just 3 months. And the secret weapon is not meditation apps or digital detoxes. It's language learning. See, scientists have tracked exactly what happens to your brain when you learn a new language, and the result will change how you think about your mental fitness forever. Stick around because I have 4 amazing discoveries to show you, so let's go. Here is the brutal truth about why you can't focus.
It seems almost impossible to break out of the social media limbo, where you're just constantly switching between tabs, refreshing pages, kind of waiting for something interesting to happen.
Sound at all familiar? You're not broken. Your brain is in trouble.
We live in a world where things are designed to be as pleasurable as humanly possible. And what supernormal stimuli does is it hijacks our natural reward pathways. It tricks our brain into thinking we are about to do something so important for our survival that we have an almost irresistible urge towards doing that thing.
Every notification, scroll, and ping has reprogrammed your dopamine system to crave instant rewards that you've been tricked into thinking are essential to your survival. The result? Well, real work becomes borderline painful to do. But here's what's amazing. Scientists at Cambridge University discovered that just 1 week of learning a new language can improve your alertness and your focus. That's right, in just 7 days, you can start rewiring your brain to improve your ability to do the things that matter most. Think about it. While everyone else is stuck in that social media limbo, refreshing pages and waiting to be entertained, you're doing something that actually fights back. Language learning doesn't give you cheap dopamine hits. It forces your brain to work for rewards. And that's exactly what starts healing your focus. 1 week, that's all it takes to begin breaking free from the dopamine trap. Now, here is the thing about dopamine. We are all addicts.
A lot of what people think is ADHD, it turns out, is people just over-consuming dopamine from various sources. And also the context within a TikTok feed is, the context switch is insane.
We doom scroll TikTok, refresh Instagram, check our notifications obsessively. Why? Well, because deep down, our brains are desperately searching for something meaningful, something that actually teaches us something new, but we just never find it. It's just more cat videos and drama. What happens when your brain finally gets what it's been craving? Well, 1 month after starting to learn a new language, something magical happens that you won't even notice.
I learned something! I learned something!
Just like that kid, your brain is having its own learn something moments, except you can't feel them happening. Researchers at the University of Washington can see exactly when it happens because they put 14 language learners in brain scanners and they hook them up to EEG electrodes that can literally read your brain's electrical activity in real time. Now, they gave French students grammar tests with some sentences that followed French rules correctly and others that broke the grammar rules completely. And these were university students taking their very first French course, complete beginners with no background in the language. And here's the crazy part. Even though the students consciously had no idea which sentences were correct, their brains were firing completely different electrical patterns when hearing proper grammar versus errors. These researchers concluded that after only a month of quality exposure, your brain can figure out the secret code of your new language. I remember exactly when this happened to me during my 3-month challenge to learn Italian. I was listening to an Italian podcast and I could suddenly start to predict what word was coming next. That's the precise verb conjugation, even though I didn't yet have any idea why, because I hadn't properly studied grammar. It was like my brain had been secretly studying grammar without telling me. So with proper exposure to the language, after just 30 days, your brain can actually hear the difference. It knows when something sounds right versus when it sounds wrong, even if you can't consciously explain why. Think about that for a second. Your brain is literally rewiring itself to detect patterns. Now, what's crazy is that this happens even if you feel you're still terrible at the language. Your conscious mind might be struggling to remember basic vocabulary, but deep down, your brain is learning things and having its own little moments. It's just doing it quietly in the background without the fanfare and celebration. So month 1 is when your brain stops being a confused tourist and starts becoming a pattern recognition device. The best part? It's just getting warmed up. And if hearing this makes you think, okay, maybe I can do this, maybe I deserve to do this for myself, then I've got something for you. It's called the Story Learning Fluency Blueprint, and it's totally free. Inside, you will find the tools that I wish that I had when starting out learning my 8 languages. It's got my language difficulty chart, super handy if you're not sure which language to even choose to learn, because it starts with what you already know. There's a printable goal planner, a study sheet to track your new words, and even a guide to the best binge-worthy TV shows that can help you learn a language. It's all based on my story learning method, where you learn languages naturally through stories. This method has already helped tens of thousands of people learn languages, and they keep coming back for more. So to get it, just scan the QR code on the screen with your phone or click the link in the description. I'll send this straight through to your inbox. Month 1 proved your brain could crack the language code, but months 2 and 3, well, that's when your brain decides to completely remodel itself. Now, spoiler alert, your brain stops working harder and starts working smarter. Researchers from the University of Tokyo tracked 15 people learning Japanese and discovered something a little weird. They put these students in MRI scanners and gave them the exact same reading and listening tests after 8 weeks of learning. Then again, several weeks later, the students got better. Their reading scores improved by 10% and they got faster at listening comprehension. But here's the weird part. Their brains were lighting up less on the scans, less activity in the grammar center, less activation in the comprehension areas, less energy being used in the visual processing regions. But wait, that makes no sense. If they're getting better, shouldn't their brains be working harder? Well, think of it like this. In month 1, your brain was like a beginner at the gym, struggling to lift even the lightest weights. But by month 3, your brain has become so efficient that it can handle the same language tasks while barely breaking a sweat. And this isn't just happening to beginners. Scientists at MIT got their hands on Vaughn Smith. Do you know this guy? He's learned more than 24 languages. They stuck him in an MRI machine for 2 hours while he was reading, listening, and thinking in different languages. What they found blew their minds. Vaughn's language brain regions were actually smaller and quieter than normal people. He needed less oxygen to process languages, not more. His brain had become such an efficient language processing machine that it barely had to break a sweat. While the rest of us are struggling through basic grammar, Vaughn's brain is cruising in 5th gear. But you don't need to learn 24 languages to get the benefit. It can start as soon as month 2 of your first new language. But that's not even the craziest part. Swedish researchers studied military language students and found something that sounds like science fiction. They found a measurable increase in cortical thickness in these students. Now, what does that mean in plain English? It means their brains were literally growing. The areas responsible for language were getting physically thicker and stronger. And it doesn't stop there. After 3 months of learning a language, your brain isn't just getting stronger, it's getting more connected. Different regions start talking to each other like never before, creating this superhighway of neural communication. After 3 months of language learning, your brain is definitely different. But what does all of this mean for your daily life? Okay, so you've studied a language for 3 months. You're getting pretty confident with your conversations. And as a bonus, you've now got this supercharged brain. Well done you. But here's what nobody warns you about. You're about to become that person. You know, the one who can actually sit through an entire movie without checking their phone, the one who reads books for fun. I've actually seen this in my own language students, that light in their eyes when they finally start making real progress in a language. It's absolutely priceless. And that pattern recognition system your brain built for spotting grammar mistakes, well, it turns out it can spill over into other aspects of your life. You might even start picking up new skills, like you're some kind of learning machine. Guitar, cooking, those complex TV shows you couldn't follow before. So suddenly they start to seem a bit less daunting. And here's the part that will really mess with your head. While everyone else is getting more scattered, more anxious, more addicted to that dopamine scroll cycle, you are getting stronger, more calm, more resilient. It's like you've become the person with the cheat codes while everyone else is still struggling with the tutorial. So yes, 3 months of language learning doesn't just give you a new language, it gives you a stronger brain with better focus, sharper thinking, and lifelong cognitive protection. And believe it or not, that's just the beginning. In this video here, I dive deeper into the benefits of learning a language when you stick to it for even longer. Go and see what happens then. You probably won't believe it.